Welcome back, everybody. We're here to pull cards for August the 27th. I am going to be pulling one card for overall energy, and after that, I'll be pulling one card per sign, and we'll look at how those energies are interacting together. So, overall energy shows up as, what do we have? Two of Wands. I'm really getting a little bit of a different read on this than I normally get for a Two of Wands. I think that for a lot of us, what's going on is we are looking over how we influence the people who are in our sphere of influence today, and we are really evaluating and wondering about if that is actually what we want it to be, or if there are some tweaks and adjustments that we need to make. That's kind of the general reading for the Two of Wands for today. For some of us, this could be having a decision to make, and all the options are good. But I'm really getting a little bit more of a introverted, considering, evaluating type of feel. So evaluating our influence on people around us, wondering if we're impacting them in the way that we really want to, and if we're not, making those adjustments as well would show up with this card. So what do we have? What do we have? Aries, Six of Cups showing up in reverse. Why does this look crooked to me? I hate that when that happens. Okay, so Six of Cups in reverse. Aries, basically what we have going on here is that there is, you're at basically, why is this not focusing like this? That's going to drive me crazy. It's probably going to drive you guys crazy too, I'm betting. Maybe if I put a finger down. All right, so Six of Wands in reverse. Aries, I think that you're having some memories about something that happened in the past that did not go down in an ideal type of way. And I think you're looking at, how your actions, how your behaviors impacted whoever else was involved in that memory in that time in the past. Okay, so that's what we've got for Aries, evaluating that. Taurus, Taurus. What do we have? What do we have? Taurus, there's something going on here where you have kind of kept things quiet for a while, and I think you're looking at, you're really evaluating, is it a good idea for you to let the truth come out about whatever this is? Is that something that's going to be beneficial for anybody involved or for everybody involved? Is that going to be beneficial or not? And I think that's what we're really evaluating today, those of us with Taurus placements. Now, looking next at Gemini. So Geminis with the Nine of Pentacles showing up here. Geminis, I think you're really evaluating. You're feeling very self-sufficient and dependent. I think you're really evaluating that energy around yourself. You're sort of asking yourself, is this what I want for myself? Is this, and some of you may be deciding, yes, it is. Just because you're evaluating it does not mean it's getting thrown out the window. But really thinking about, is this independent, self-sufficient energy? Is this what I want to present to the world and carry out to the world? Or do I want to make some adjustments to that? Okay, that's for Gemini placements. Next up, Cancer. Nine of Cups. Cancers, I really think that we are looking at this whole idea of satisfaction and fulfillment. And we are thinking about how are we impacting people around us when it comes to the idea of satisfaction and fulfillment? Are we encouraging and uplifting people on their way to reach their satisfaction or fulfillment? Are we sort of stepping on their dreams of satisfaction and fulfillment? We're really looking at this and making sure that we're having the impact that we want to. Okay, so that's for Cancers. Next up, we're going to look at Leo. Okay, so Leos. Four of Coins showing up here. Four of Coins tells me that you have been sort of holding back whenever it comes to interacting with other people and your influence with them. There's things that maybe you've wanted to say or you've wanted to show or you've wanted to do, and you've been holding back on it. And I think you're really evaluating, is that really what I want to do? Is this really the level of impact that I want to have on the people around me? Or do I want to have more impact? Do I want to quit holding back? That's what you're thinking about today. Next up, let's look at Virgo. Okay, so Virgos, we do have a world card here. This is telling me that you're really looking at the influence that you're having on the people around you, and you're looking at this idea of what would be the ideal influence that I could have, and really looking at, okay, what do I need to do to tweak that to make it ideal? This really, for me, is almost the same as this energy by itself, except now we've got it highlighted. Now it's showing up in a bigger way, okay, for you guys. Next up, we're looking at Libra. Okay, so Libras, you have somebody in your sphere of influence that they've been really jumping up and down on your last nerve. And you're evaluating today your interactions with this person. Have I interacted with them correctly? Has anything about my interactions caused them to think that it's okay for them to jump up and down on my last nerve? Do they know they're jumping up and down on my last nerve? Have I let them know that this isn't working for me? And so you're looking at how you've influenced this situation and these people, and you're looking at um, you know, what adjustments you want to make on this. Do you want to make any adjustments? If so, what? Have a feeling you do. Have a feeling that you do. All right, Scorpios, Scorpios. Page of Cups coming up in reverse with the Two of Wands, and overall, this really talks about looking at, for those of us with Scorpio placements, looking at how we express ourselves to other people that we care about how we get our messages across, about how we say to somebody, you're important to me, or I love you, or whatever, anything along those lines. And so we are really looking at, am I handling this type of communication in the way that I want to do? Is the other person able to hear what I'm feeling with the words that I'm using? Okay. Next up, we're looking at Sagittarius. Okay, so Sagittarius. Four of Swords coming up for you guys, along with that Two of Wands in the overall. Sagittarius, I think that you know that it is time for you to take a break. And I think that part of what is motivating you to take a break is this idea that other people are watching you, other people are using you as their example to pattern themselves by. And so you don't want to be the example of the person who's totally burning themselves out. It's really interesting because I think that you need this break, but I think that you're taking this break because you want to be a good influence on people in your sphere of influence. You want them to understand that taking a break is a normal part of revitalization and making sure that we can do well in the rest of our world. All right, so let's see, that was Sagittarius. Next up, let's look at Capricorn. Capricorn, Capricorn, Capricorn. Okay, so Capricorns, it looks to me like you're really considering commitments and you're considering what commitments you want to have with people around you, with people who are in your sphere of influence, what ones you actually want to participate in, and what you want those commitments to look like. Next up, we're looking at Aquarius. Now, I'm going to go back to Capricorn. I think we're not done yet. I think we're also, when we look at Capricorn, we're also looking at are we being transparent with other people about the types of commitments that we want to be in? I think we're looking at that as well. And if not, we're making those adjustments. Okay, coming back to Aquarius. Ba-bum-bum. Ten of Pentacles showing up in reverse. Looks to me, Aquarius, like you want to upgrade something that is bringing you some kind of sense of security. And I think that you are very aware that you have other people watching you as you're doing this, and you're trying to make sure um, that you're basically doing this the right way, that you're not taking shortcuts, that you're doing this with integrity, basically, is how I want to say this. Because you know that if you don't do this the right way now, then people who come behind you are going to try to upgrade in the future, and they are also not going to do it the right way. And I think that that makes your whole sense of security into a stack of cards. So I think you're upgrading something that makes you feel secure. I think you're doing it the right way, and I think you're doing it the right way in part because you know people are going to be following your example. So let's see, who was that? That was Aquarius. Next up, let's look at Pisces. Pisces. Okay, Pisces, it looks like you are receiving some attention for something that you've done, and people are showing their appreciation for that. I think that as you receive that attention, as you accept that attention, I think you are wanting to do this in such a way that it sets a good example for others. So, in other words, I feel like whatever this is, I think you're being a good sport about it. I think you're, not getting really arrogant about this. I think you're, keeping a nice solid grounded head on your shoulders as people are expressing their appreciation. And I think that's, that is a part of how you influence people around you is by staying grounded in the good times and in the bad times. One of the books by Dan Miguel Ruiz, I think it's in the Four Agreements, that talks about this idea that just because you think I'm great doesn't mean I'm great. Just because you think I'm terrible doesn't mean I'm terrible. What's really important is what I think I am. And this is the kind of energy that I'm pulling off of this is that you're just, people are giving you appreciation and you are staying very grounded. You're recognizing that that appreciation is coming more from them and how they feel than from you or anything actually that you've done. Like, I'm not trying to rain on your parade or anything, but I think it's important to remember that sometimes that, um, and I try to remember sometimes that people might think that we're really great. Well, really, we're just doing what we're supposed to do. And that's kind of the energy here that I have is that people are letting you know that they really appreciate you a lot. I think internally you are feeling like, I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm doing what I signed up to do or what I agreed to do. Um, but I think you're receiving the appreciation in a gracious way so that, you're not leaving anybody with a sour taste in their mouth, of course. And appreciation is, of course, always nice. So, anyway, let me get off of my winding soapbox there. Everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I do appreciate it. Have a fantastic day. Peace out.